I'm Chef Kirk. This is Jazzy. We're gonna jazz up your meal. Hey, look, it's Jazzy. I guess it's time to jazzy up some meals. Let's see what we got today. Well, we got bacon, my favorite. Some tortillas. A dozen eggs. Some shredded cheese. Some diced potatoes and onion. And some breakfast sausage. I think today we're making breakfast burritos. We have 45 minutes, maybe an hour on a Sunday. You can make enough burritos to last you the entire week. It's brilliant. You can wrap them up, a couple minutes in the microwave. You got a snack to go all week long. We're gonna start with a good sized skillet on a medium heat. We're gonna start with our bacon. Now we're gonna crack our eggs. We're gonna go ahead and use this whole dozen because we're gonna make 12 burritos. It's important to crack eggs on a flat surface. I know a lot of people you'll see crack them on the rim of the bowl, but what that does is it forces the shell into the egg and it causes contamination. So, flat surface, break it open, get it apart. Flat surface. All of our eggs are cracked and it's time to whisk. It's important to not realize we're not adding anything to these eggs. Some people would season them. Never season your eggs until they're cooked. Salt and pepper will both restrict the proteins and it'll make for chewy eggs. So for this, we're just whisking eggs by themselves. Oh! We'll hide those. Jazzy's not a big fan of the eggs. Carefully turning our bacon. Grabbing from the near side, laying against towards the outside so that you don't accidentally splatter yourself. Alright, looks like our bacon's good. Nice and crispy. So we're just going to let as much of that fat drain as we can. But we are not discarding the fat. It is the most essential ingredient for our potatoes. Alright, we got our potatoes, we got our pan full of hot bacon grease. I like to use the potato O'Brien for this recipe because it already has the peppers and onions in it. And be careful when adding frozen anything to hot grease, as it might splatter. We've got our kosher salt. Potatoes love salt. So a little dash of that. And a little black pepper. Got our potatoes. And that's known as the chef flip. If you can't do that, feel free to use a spatula. However, if you want to learn to do that, what I used to do with the young chefs in the kitchen was give them a saucepan or a saute pan and have them buy some dried beans. Put some dried beans in there and you can just practice while you're watching television until you get this flipping motion down. It'll make everything easier in the kitchen. So while we're waiting for our potatoes to get what we call GBD, which is golden brown and delicious, we're gonna chop up our bacon. You know, hell, if you have a nice knife, it's easy enough. If you don't have a knife, you can just use your fingers. Or if you're a giant bird, you can probably just use your beak. So this is just, you can use any kind of breakfast pork sausage, or any kind of sausage you want. Chorizo would be good. And we constantly wash our hands. Not only is it great practice in the kitchen, but these days it's a great practice at all times. Hands are clean, sausage in the pan. Just gonna break it up. Alright, sausage is nice and brown. Just gonna put that on a plate with our bacon. Alright, sausage is done, the bacon is done. We'll let Jazzy look after that for a minute while as we're doing a full dozen. I'm gonna go ahead and use about a whole half a stick of butter. Butter is your friend. Once again, we're using non-salted butter for the same reason that I said before. The salt in the eggs will constrict the proteins, make your eggs tough. Now, the idea for the perfect scrambled egg is we're gonna let this butter melt. And you see how it's got the bubbly white cream going. The moment our butter stops foaming is when it's time to add there we see our foam has subsided. We're starting to get just a little bit of color. So we'll dump it in. So we want nice large curds. So you notice how we start to get this foam on the side. That's the time to start moving our eggs. We're just going to slowly straight back and forth through the middle. Keeping them moving. To form these deliciously nice giant curds. Now you notice our eggs are a little bit wet yet, but that's okay. So we're going to foam off the heat. And we're going to put them into this bowl. Okay, so we have everything set up. It's time for assembly. Jazzy, can I have a tortilla? Preferably without worms. Now it's important to slightly heat the tortilla so that we can fold it. And while we have it in there, we're going to add a little bit of cheese. It doesn't have to toast. It doesn't have to cook. It just has to be slightly warm so that it's pliable. Some potatoes. Some sausage. No worms. And some egg. Now the fun part, the folding of the burrito. We fold one end over, second end over, tuck your thumb, pull it up, tuck in, and roll it tight. And that's our burrito. Now to keep it closed, we'll throw it back in the pan. And toast it slightly on the folded side of it. Let's do another one, Jazzy. So again, we're just looking for a nice GBD. That's that golden brown and delicious. Okay, over there, Jazzy. You might need to use fingers instead of claws. Do you want me to try it? Once your burritos have cooled off slightly, we can take some plastic wrap. Simply wrap them up. Put them in your refrigerator. 1 minute in the microwave. They're ready to go. A tasty, delicious snack. And like I said, if you spend 1 hour a week, you've got snacks for the entire week. So, good luck. I'd love to see you guys make this at home. And send me a picture of your breakfast burrito. Until next time, I'm Chef Kirk. This is Jazzy. This is Cooking with Jazzy.